And, you know, like I said, I have the receipts to prove it. My videos, just look back, 30 or so videos and just start going forward because that's when I started to talk about it. It was very recently, but it's gone back months. But some of it is really sad. It's absolutely one of the most saddest things that I've witnessed in a long time. Because he was a voice of reason. He was a voice of motivation. He was a voice of cohesion among the youth especially. He put himself out there. You know what I mean? He had a wonderful family, wonderful children, and a beautiful wife. And hopefully, he's in a better place because that's what he believed strongly. And let's just hope that he is there and waiting for his family to come. Hopefully, not soon. But you never know with the sick leftist freaks out there. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say that, but far left extremist freaks, okay? Because that's all we see right now that are committing all the crimes, that are committing all the murders, obviously this is a severe exaggeration, but the majority of. And we could break down statistics all day. It's just the statistics point in the direction of more crime on the left, more mental health problems on the left, less stable households on the left, less friends on the left, like networking communities, less religion on the left, so you don't have that camaraderie type of community that you get with that. He was a big proponent of Israel, right? He loved, he visited Israel more than once to see what it was on the ground because he wanted to be there and see what was going on. You know what I mean? He wanted to learn from the Israelis and Muslims alike in that country. They live together peacefully. There is a peaceful place on earth. It's called Israel, where Muslims and because they're 20% of the population. Some of them are judges, work in parliament, lawyers, you name it. They can become high-ranking figures, okay? And that's 2 million people, by the way, I'd see, around, maybe a little bit more, because it's 15 million people in the nation. If they're 20%, you do the math. I don't feel like doing it right now. But guys, this is what I'm talking about. I'll say it again, See, we're going to see more of this because America's awash with guns. It's in our Constitution. Charlie Kirk, I hate to say it, should have had armed people. Or maybe he did. I mean, he probably did. It seemed like it was a shot from a distance. And this scumbag will do it again soon. Mark my words. He got away with it. These people don't stop. You know what I mean? Because they're ideologues. You know what I mean? They're so far stuck in the bubble, and you can blame the culture, you can blame the left, you can blame the media, you can blame everybody that's should be held accountable for some of this stuff. But you just can't hold everybody accountable. But in a whole, what I just said, in these groups have a lot of responsibility for some of these insane behaviors because insane people, when hear insane shit, sometimes act it out. And you hear all that on the left. Oh, we should kill the president of the United States. It's like, wow, you just said that. Are you stupid? I mean, everyone should be. I know some people that I've been communicating with, and they can't give one good thing that Trump has done. All you hear is bad, 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 bad. But there's been plenty of good, right? And I'm a topic here about the Charlie Kirk thing, but they had met several times, and he right away he tweeted about how saddened he was for America, and I'm sure that flags are half staff. That's a fact, because he was an important figure for this country, culture, and so I kind of wanted to just keep it on that. Also wanted to keep it on how extreme and radicalization and leftist policies have got us to where we are. And everything seems to be working that they say isn't going to be working. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, if you put people on, so he federalizes it so he can do it. When I'm saying he federalizes it, Washington, D.C., I mean, and crime itself was down 60%. Carjackings was down 82%. Murders were halved. So violent robberies were significantly decreased. In that, it was like, what, a 3-week period or something like that? And you got these now other Republicans like in Louisiana are reaching out because they understand, yeah, they have these crazy crime rates per capita, but they're coming from blue cities. They're coming from the same. These are leftist cities. That means the people in the cities that are the crimes are being committed, the shootings and killings. That means they voted that guy into office, so they're left majority as well. So like, just put the pieces together, and the puzzle fits, doesn't it? Nice and tight. But yeah, this is my first live time on YouTube. So you know what I mean. I didn't like write a script or anything, but I'm just going off flying off the seat of my pants here. But I just felt it was a time to do it right now because what happened last night, and then during that car bombing recently over in California. I remember when it happened. You can look back in my video. I said it's got to be because it's a fertility clinic. It's the opposite of an abortion clinic. Because I remember there was bombings in the 90s of abortion clinics. I remember Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols when I was 16 blow up the Oklahoma City building. I remember the Waco, Texas. That happened on my birthday. And then Waco, Texas, a year prior to the explosion of the Oklahoma City building by those two gentlemen. I shouldn't call them gentlemen, scumbags. But the Waco, Texas, Branch Davidian with David Koresh, the 3-month siege where countless children and adults passed away. FBI agents were shot and killed, and then they were almost blamed fully for it because they had a lot of to do with what happened. So they had every right. So everyone that got out of there was never charged with a crime. The ones that. So anyway, that's way besides the point. But that what I was getting at was everything was to the right. But if you go back to the 60s, it was to the left. And now it's changed again. And we're back and see how history goes from, it repeats itself. But I like to say it rhymes, we're doomed to repeat it. Some people say, but like, not if not if you have a good education system and stuff like that. That's the problem with like Palestinians, and because like in kindergarten they're running around, with fake guns saying I'm kill the Jew, and it's the same thing in Iran. You know what I mean? The indoctrination from childhood is where you get insane people that turn into adults because. That's how you get suicide bombers, right? These people would never do that if they knew the actual, real life true facts of what's going on. They're lied to, and they're lied to, basically from birth, especially ones without parents, right? They're put in situations where, what can they do? They have to join something or somebody they feel, right? And looking for that camaraderie, parental, figures in their lives, and that's why there's gang joining among the African American community. It's the same kind of thing. The mothers have failed them, but like the single mothers have failed, but it's been all blamed on white people and our systemic way we put them down. It's just insane, if you ask me. I mean, I'm Jewish myself, and we've been slaves for thousands of years. We've only had a state for what, 70 plus years or whatever. That's it, because it was bad for us. So, do you hear me complain about it? You do hear a lot of Jewish people complain about it throughout the years, but that's the far left. And I hate to say it, but my race in America especially had been mainly to the left. That's why Hollywood is to the left. The media was to the left mainly. up until recently. And within now, you have your independent media where you can get anything out. So, but there's still that mainstream, and that was to the left because I hate to say it, but it has to have something to do with it. But because Jews did own newspapers and they own the media. Hollywood is a media in of itself. It was used during World War II for advertising for pro-war stuff. You know, stars went around to sell bonds. I mean, half of the people in America bought half of the money spent by America was bonds that were bought by the American people, war bonds, and I mean, that was quite the generation. You know, I don't think you'll ever see anything like that ever again. Nothing, nothing exactly like that. That was wonderful. My father was a baby boomer, and his father it was in World War II. My mother's father was also in World War II. My father's father, my grandfather, was in the Battle of the Bulge, but he was just a cook. But still, he had to endure the Battle of the Bulge, which was insane. Anyway, guys, I'm signing off. I got to go get something. Morgan's, I don't know. I don't have my. The other thing is I don't have my. I can't see any messages from anybody, and I only see one person right now. But I'm glad to see that someone's listening, right? But anyway, have a wonderful day. Next time I get live, hey, subscribe, man, if you like what you hear. All right, bro. Peace. It's mainly geopolitical stuff and with the historical context. How do I get out of here? I don't even know. Are you sure you want?